We encountered an issue. Okay, well, yes, there we are. Okay, move over, kids. It's the Saturday morning podcast. We're just a bunch of dorks who missed Saturday morning cartoons so much that we decided to come together and just talk about, well, video games. Not really so much cartoons, but we will. I think last time Marcus was on, we did talk about Dragon Ball, and that's a cartoon, right? Or are animes considered cartoons, or are they considered both? They're in the pie chart that overlaps each other.
No, anime is considered anime. And
Whoa! I touched a nerve right there. Um, uh, guys, so we are your Saturday morning podcast. We are missing William today. Marcus, you're still sideways. If you want to be sideways the whole time, that's fine with us, though. There you go. Okay, so my name's Ken. We've got Devin right here. We've got Marcus right here with the Mark Jack 79. Is that what's your YouTube?
Mark Jack 79.
Yep, Mark Jack 79. And we've got David right here. David, are you with us in the land of the coherent? David had a failed tooth extraction. That sounds epic. Like, what's that?
So pretty much my wisdom tooth the root is fused with my molar. So in order to remove it, they have to remove the back molar. So
okay, so
it's very painful. I don't wish this on anybody.
Yeah. Well, you're a trooper for being with us today. Okay, so let's get into it. Couple things happened during the week. The first one we'll just clear it out of the air here. Labo VR. Nintendo's getting VR. Are you excited about this? The asterisk by Nintendo getting VR is extra gaming first plays. What's up, man? The asterisk by Labo is the VR is that it's coming on Labo. I did a video about just people complaining, basically. So before you start complaining, Mark, you might want to realize that I might jump down your throat. But we welcome opinions because, I mean, I even welcomed 60 Formula last week's opinion. Well, I didn't welcome it, but we heard it. What do you guys think about Nintendo's foray into the VR realm once more?
Mark?
Yeah, we'll start with you, Mark. Go.
Well, I mean, the thought of having a Zelda VR where you have a one-to-one sword action, I mean, that could be exciting. Is it something that I've ever wanted or needed? No. But, I mean, if it's something that they introduce, I mean, I would at least be open-minded to it. But it's definitely something that I don't think has ever been, required in Nintendo's foray of first-party titles. I think, I just personally don't think it's needed. I think it's kind of gimmicky. I don't know. I don't think it's necessary.
And I kind of agree with you on everything you said. However, a lot of my frustrations on the whole situation is actually the reaction. Your reaction seems like, yeah, okay, cool, whatever. I'm not going to buy it. But other people have the reaction of, hey, I'm not going to buy this, so now I'm mad at this. So do you see their point at all? Because a lot of the points I'm hearing is Nintendo's wasting their money, their time on this. Labo's just cardboard. Why is Nintendo making us buy this? It's just a waste of their resources, basically. Do you see that at all? And I'll throw it back at you, Mark.
I don't think it's that serious to where you should get upset from Nintendo trying out new things, because obviously this is not the first time that Nintendo has tried out something, to progress the entire realm of gaming. I just think it's just, it's typical of Nintendo just being Nintendo. I mean, we had the Virtual Boy. I mean, obviously that was a commercial failure, and then we had the Wii with Wii Sports. I mean, that was huge. And then we have the Wii U, which it kind of was a success, but not really though. Then we have the Switch, which is an absolute phenomenon. So, I think just everybody as Nintendo fans should just come into it with an open mind because throughout the decades it's been hit or miss with Nintendo's ideas of introducing or trying to introduce new ideas into the pantheon of gaming. So I at least think that we should give them the benefit of the doubt. I mean, but it's not like that this hasn't been done before. But hopefully with Nintendo's touch on it, it could actually become something special. I have a PlayStation 4 too, and I've tried the PlayStation VR, and it was never really a title on there that had me like, man, I really need to jump into this, and I really need to buckle.
I have heard that I know it's a Nintendo mainly podcast, but sometimes we verge off. I've heard that the PlayStation VR games, I heard Tetris Effect is great, and I've heard horror games are like the what to really play. Have you played any of the horror games?
I played the one horror game on the PSVR called Rush of Blood. Is really neat. It's a rail shooter. I like that one a lot.
And that was VR. Can you describe? I've never, with the exception of Virtual Boy, I've done nothing virtual. Can you describe me some virtual, like anything, Devin? Like, tell me about it.
Like what in specific? Like the feeling behind it, or
no? Just like sell me on that. Like, what was so cool about it, or what was your experience?
Well, what I found cool of it is, like, specifically with that game, Rush of Blood, it was based in, like, a carnival kind of thing, so you were in, like a roller coaster. I don't know if it was just me, but certain VR games, if you have that thing set up right, it's super immersive. Like, I played the Oculus once before it first, like, officially came out, and once I took the goggles off, I had to take a second to realize, like, that wasn't real, because it was that good-looking, so to speak. And I played the Rush of Blood game on the PlayStation VR, and I don't like roller coasters at all. So there's a couple times where I felt like I was like, oh boy, we got to hold on for a moment.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So it was fun, but like Mark was saying, it is in my opinion a gimmick. But I'm not going to say that doesn't appeal to me, Nintendo. So how dare you make it?
Gotcha. Okay, what about you, David? Give me your thoughts on Nintendo's Labo VR experiment. Because I think a lot of people hated on Labo right away. Which Labo will always have a special place in this channel's history. Labo, the first Labo, was the first video that Move Over Kids did. I didn't know it was going to be Labo. Otherwise, to be honest, I probably wouldn't have done it. They were just like, we're going to announce something. And I was like, okay, I'll do it. But David, what are your thoughts on not just Nintendo's first foray into VR with Labo of all things, but the reaction that is received?
Yeah, so I think the reaction would be different if the VR was an endeavor in itself, separate from Labo. So imagine Nintendo announcing that they're doing their jump into VR, but not in Labo form, like an actual research and development going into kind of like PlayStation. It'd be very different. People would definitely say, well, you have such success with the Switch. Why are you allotting time and resources to VR? I think it's perfect that it's going to Labo, though, because Labo is already an interesting offshoot of the Switch. It's a peripheral. It's an arts and crafts STEM-related item. I think it's great. I don't think there's anything that hinders. I don't think there's anything that hinders Nintendo's image by doing this VR thing with Labo. Because if it fails or if it doesn't go as planned, well, the Labo is essentially cushions the blow because it's already a creative outlet that Nintendo has been trying for, a year now?
Yeah.
Whereas if it was actually a lot of millions and millions of dollars being poured into this because it was its separate own thing like PSVR, then the critics will definitely, have leverage over Nintendo and say, see, Nintendo, you shouldn't be spending your time on these kind of things. So I think it's kind of right there in the middle. And of course, the premature reactions from the public they're always fun to hear, because some people maybe, some people just fall flat on their face when these things become a success. But I think it's interesting. I welcome it.
That's the thing. Like when even the Switch first came out, I had a friend of mine that owns a vintage video game store. He was saying, "Well, the Wii U is horrible. The Switch is going to be horrible too. It's not going to nothing. Look where the Switch is sitting now."
Oh yeah, there was a lot of haters. You can go, and they did a lot of them did the YouTube thing though, and they post, is the Switch going to fail? And they just did, they did the thumbnails, they did the titles to imply that the Switch was dead on arrival. And then in their videos, they basically just were like, yeah, I just don't know why Nintendo can't get their act together. They weren't like so harsh on it, but yeah, there was just like everybody, like just nobody really believed in Nintendo. And that's the thing also. I heard one person say, oh, quit with your gimmicks, Nintendo. Well, the Switch is a gimmick, if you think about it. The Switch in and of itself is a gimmick. Now, the gimmick is a brilliant gimmick, just I can take it anywhere I want. But it's still a gimmick. So if Nintendo completely quit on gimmicks, well, we wouldn't even have the best part of the Switch, I think.
That's the thing with Nintendo. Like the whole, like I commented on your video that you had the other day. With Labo in general, in my opinion, it's supposed to invoke imagination. And these same people that are saying all this stuff, I know I did this when I was a little kid, that would go outside and find a big stick and that's a sword, or a garbage can lid is a shield. It's supposed to be imagination. It involves technology, but it's still an imagination and arts and crafts thing in a way. I wish I had kids to be able to build those Labo things with. I have the first two of them, and they're sitting in my storage unit right now. But either way, I mean, it's supposed to invoke creativity and all that. I'm a fanboy of Nintendo, and I don't care. You can call me that all day.
Dude, I wear that with pride, dude. Fanboy.
But these people have to step back and like kind of look at the facts that it's not specifically made for people our age, even though like I bought it and I can't wait to build it. It's just not specifically for us.
Yeah.
And I don't care how you want to shake a stick at it. The VR for the Labo is the cheapest VR for a home console on the market.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it might not be the most magical thing ever made, but it's still going to work pretty cool.
I kind of see it as the Pokemon concept too, where like the Pokemon games right now that are being created are, in my opinion, they're definitely they appeal to children, right? This is why the fans that have grown up with Pokemon, the ones that are upset that they haven't shaken up the formula enough, that it's not an MMO, it's not a this and that. It's because we've grown out of the mold. We're not. Yeah. It's not the target audience anymore. But we still enjoy it. I love Pokemon. I mean, I know a lot of people my age and older that love Pokemon, and I understand the frustration. But at the end of the day, it's appealing to the kids that we once were. You know,
I agree with that. My wife actually, we did a tea vlog right after the Gen 8 announcements. Is that a word? But she basically said, and I didn't think about it, and kind of what you just said here, that it is perpetually a 10-year-old game or a 12-year-old game or a whatever-year-old game, in that, you know, if you look at Zelda definitely grew. I went back and played Zelda 1 this week, like on Nintendo Switch Online. And you look at Zelda 1, I mean, you look at Ocarina of Time, you look at Breath of the Wild, it definitely grew with its audience. But Pokemon stays where it's at. It's not trying to reinvent any wheels. It's just saying, okay, we want to hit every 12-year-old in the world, meaning we can't ever really, the series can't really grow up because it's always targeted. It wants the next generation of 12-year-olds. You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't mean that we can't enjoy it, because personally speaking, I enjoy it more so because of my kids. But David, you seem to enjoy it more so because you grew up with it, and it's that it's that Disney movie that you can always watch. You know, it's that. And Mark, I know you were never that giant of a Pokemon fan, but you understand also that it's like, I assume you understand that it's like something. It's just always geared towards this certain age group. And if you didn't get into it when you were 12, maybe you just won't get into it. And you're just going to have to focus on a different Nintendo series. I don't know.
But there's one more thing that I forgot that I wanted to bring up. Sorry, Mark. You know, you see how everybody's saying that Labo is like horrible and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And how it's a commercial failure, whatever people are trying to say. There's going to be fans of Labo in the future that are like, well, I still have a complete set of Labo and it's all like untouched or blah, blah, blah. Same thing with like Virtual Boy and the Wii U. There's always like a fan base behind those certain things that apparently failed. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, and Stefan in the chat has been making some really stellar points. You know, one, he said, like, you know, just because it's not meant for you doesn't mean it's not meant for someone else. You know, Nintendo, kind of like what Mark said about Nintendo being innovative. Yeah, we're going to have Wii U flops, but we're going to have Wii successes. And I know, like, the gaming community has kind of turned really sour on the Wii since, you know, 2006, but man, I'll tell you what, that the Wii was magic for the first 3 or 4 years. It was like absolutely magic. And he also, what's up, EPS 5000? Stefan also says there's a lot of trolls only care about the standards and basics. A high-powered box with a standardized controller. The trolls forget that Nintendo has been taking has been the one taking chances and winning or losing accordingly. You never know what you're going to get with Nintendo, basically, he says. And I absolutely agree with that. And PlayStation has almost flat out said it in their own right that we really need Nintendo to keep taking chances because, you know, PlayStation just doesn't have the imagination to do it. Now, PlayStation might do something well. They might take a product and do it well, but I don't see PlayStation the innovators. Not to say they've never innovated, all right? Nintendo has copied from PlayStation and vice versa, but it seems to me that PlayStation tends to copy more so. And also, to segue off that, I have two things I want to say. Christian, I'll get to your comment in a second. But I just wanted to say, because I know this is big and I've not really been a part of it, but Kip Game says, dude, PewDiePie versus T-Series is a 1,000 gap right now. Has anybody been following the PewDiePie thing? Because I haven't really. I didn't even know about it until 60 Formula came on once and told me about it. Does anybody know anything about that? I mean, I get it. PewDiePie is the all-time champion when it comes to subscribers, and this guy T-Series is catching up to him, and so now there's this big thing to subscribe and keep PewDiePie on top. Man, can you imagine?
T-Series is actually it's a mega corporation actually in the Asia, specifically India.
Whoa.
And
okay, so I guess I know even less than I thought.
I can talk about this for 5 minutes if you want, but pretty much it's this mega corp. Think of like these big media corporations that we have here in the States. Some appeal to movies, some appeal to YouTube videos like broadband TV. They cover a bunch of different YouTube channels and whatnot. Well, think of like Vivo. If you look at Vivo Music,
yeah.
It's like music videos, and it's just this channel that has a bunch of music videos. T-Series is a thing in India, I believe, and it's like this mega corporation that does music videos for big artists over there. So it's this huge umbrella versus one man, PewDiePie. So
okay, that makes more sense then. I thought people I guess I should have just, hey Ken, you ever hear of Google? I guess I should have just I thought it was one man versus one man. I didn't know it was one man versus a corporation that has 100 people under a contract.
Yeah, because if you look at outside of the United States, you have the Asias, especially like Vietnam and Thailand. They love their artistry, and they love music videos and their music. So
India, I will say India does make some really banging videos.
Yeah, and T-Series covers, I think, one of their major Bollywood productions. So, I mean, it's only natural that they're going to be huge. But the fact that PewDiePie has held on for this long is super, super impressive. And even though, let's just say that T-Series surpasses him, you're going to look at it on paper. A mega corporation surpassed one man.
Yeah.
That has kept it going for so long. So PewDiePie, I mean, that guy, I don't know how he got so many subscribers. To be honest, I've watched some of his stuff. Sure, it's entertaining and it's pretty funny sometimes, but if you look at the amount of subscribers, you're like, man, that's a lot of people. I mean,
dude, the guy sneezes and he gets a check for $100,000 from YouTube.
Yeah. So I can name 5 other people that
Mark?
are probably more entertaining than him. But
hey, Mark, can you say something real quick?
Yeah, I was just agreeing with PewDiePie could pretty much do anything on YouTube, and he will get another sponsorship for it.
Dude, it's crazy. I don't know too much about PewDiePie, believe it or not. I've watched like maybe 5 minutes of him. Is that like, is that a YouTube sin? I know there's Nintendo sins. Are there YouTube sins? I watched PewDiePie actually for the first time ever about like after 60 Formula came on this channel, and he said, go subscribe to PewDiePie. I mean, I heard of him. I know of him. And I know his foot gets in his mouth every once in a while. But so is that a YouTube sin considered to not know much about PewDiePie?
No, that is absolutely.
I don't care either. I think there's better people.
Mark, I think there's some issues with your audio. Like you were really muffled there a second ago. But I am impressed with that though. Now I kind of want to subscribe to PewDiePie just because of this India corporation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I've only watched like a handful. I've never watched more than 10, let's say, in his entire run. I've only watched maybe 10 videos of him, and nothing's really grabbed me, to be honest. But I seem to come back around to him whenever there's controversy surrounding him. But I mean, if anything, I commend him for staying with the times. I mean, he went from a solely gaming channel to now like a meme channel to current event channel kind of thing.
Yeah, he crossed over, definitely. And that's pretty impressive. Yeah, he made me laugh, though. The 5 minutes that I did watch of him, he did make me laugh, but I don't really know much about him. I kind of want to subscribe, though, because now that I know, I thought T was like, how I'm so lame sometimes. Okay, so there's T-Pain and stuff like that. So I just thought it was something like T Guy, out there that was about to overtake him. So
Ken, that's a dad move right there, man.
Yeah, probably. Who's this T Guy?
Oh man.
I was like, why can't they just both be first place?
The only T I know is T-Ball back in the day.
Right. Mr. T is good for him. He's been around since the 80s. Okay. I got 2 things to say, actually. Rat Boy is Devin. Did you just throw a dollar into the chat?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I guess I'll bring that up, and then we can segue into Mark. Mark, I am sorry. You know what, Mark? Do you have any? We've been kind of excluding you. I'm going to throw the ball in your court. Bring up a subject, and we'll talk about it. Then I got to talk about that donation there.
That's fine, man. I've just been still kind of dealing with my moodiness here. Is my sound coming in?
No, it is absolutely muffled.
It sounded better like 10 minutes ago, man. It sounded great, but it seemed like maybe something caught onto it. Maybe it's muffled somewhere, or
yeah, it sounds like you're underwater now.
I got it.
Yeah. Okay. So that's Mark. Mark, we lost your. Oh, there you are. Hey, Mark.
Yeah, I got a new microphone, and I was testing it out here. I thought it was good, but
it sounds better now.
Yeah, you sound good now.
Double connect my microphone with my headphones. I think it jumbles the connection, so I think I'm just gonna have to do it like this for the rest of the podcast here. But yeah, man, what have I been doing lately? Just just
Hang on one second. Let me stop you. What to do is just get really close to your microphone. That will help you. And Mark Jack, guys, he has a family channel, a family YouTube channel. You cover about everything. And guys, here's something to look forward to. You live right outside of Orlando, right?
Yes, I do.
So I heard that there's a big amusement park about to open, Star Wars. Are you gonna see that? Are you gonna do anything with that?
Yes, I do plan on taking a trip to Walt Disney World in August when Star Wars Galaxy's Edge opens. So if you're any kind of a Disney World fan or Universal Studios, or if you follow the Florida or the California parks, definitely make sure you get subscribed, because I'm definitely going to be following the craziness and the madness.
Dude, you should really just really saturate your channel with that theme park, because that's going to be huge. I heard that the Star Wars theme park is like crazy awesome.
Yeah, it's going to have like a replica of like a life-size replica of the Millennium Falcon, and be like a mission that you're going to be able to go on. It's like you and like 5 other people, and you're going to go into like the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon, and you're going to like do like I think it's like an escort mission where it's going to be like in 3D, and you're going to be control like all the different nozzles and the control panels and all that. So, and then it's another attraction called Rise of the Resistance. It's not really too many details on that. It's supposed to be another like AAA Disney attraction too, kind of like AKA to like Expedition Everest or Pandora, or some stuff of that nature. So it's supposed to be Disney's most expensive expansion to Disneyland and Walt Disney World ever. I think it cost around $1.5 billion.
Whoa! Wow.
So yeah, it's definitely going to be huge.
Are you a Star Wars fan?
I am.
What's your favorite Star Wars?
My favorite Star Wars movie? Oh, definitely. It's so tough.
It's hard.
Definitely, probably a tie between Return of the Jedi.
Yes.
And why am I having a brain fart right now?
Empire Strikes Back.
Yes, Empire Strikes Back. Yeah, of course.
Yep.
So I mean, kind of like the obvious two, but they're just so.
Really, you only got 3 to choose from, though. You only really got 3 to choose from.
Don't say that, Ken.
I said it, and I don't take it back.
The prequels.
Don't take it back.
And here's the thing too. I mean, like the prequels have their problems, but I think I would put the prequels lightsaber fights over anything that we've seen from the newer movies. I don't know what it is about like the fight scenes from like the Last Jedi, or the first one from the newer ones, but I definitely prefer the lightsaber fights from the prequel trilogy.
Yeah, the lightsaber fights in the prequels were just like insane, and it's almost to the point where I was like, I wish they wouldn't have gone so crazy, because it made the fight scenes in Return of the Jedi and stuff lame. I'm like, why aren't they doing these flips?
I know.
Although David, you said something. What, you like the first 3?
I was a kid, man, when they came out. So
same here. I like the first 3 because of that too.
Yeah, I mean, dude, Taco Bell was responsible for me loving the prequels, because the toys they gave out, it was like the perfect hype toy. It's like, wow, this is gonna happen in the movie, and then I go to the movie and it's like, it blows my mind. Phantom of the Menace, dude. It's I love it, dude.
Phantom Menace? You like Phantom Menace? Oh my gosh.
I love Darth Maul. Darth Maul, I think, is probably only second when it comes to the villains to Darth Vader.
Darth Maul would have been awesome, but I felt they killed him off way too soon. I wish they would have did this with Darth Maul. I wish Darth Maul would have been around for all 3 movies, and they had Darth Vader Anakin Skywalker killed Darth Maul in Episode 3 so he could then become the new Darth. Just like Palpatine in Episode 6 wanted Luke to kill Vader. I thought they should have just did that. I think they could have just retold the first 3 just like the first Episode 4, 5, and 6. That would have been awesome. My favorite is with EPS 5000, and this actually, it kind of reminded me of something. I wasn't going to talk about Star Wars, but mine is Return of the Jedi. That is my favorite, and a lot of people get mad at. And this is what I think about when I think about Jar Jar Binks, and even what you were saying that you like the first 3, David and Devin, because Spen Catron, what's up, man? Spen Catron made a Discord for the channel. I haven't looked at it yet. I apologize, friend. But anyways, the Ewoks were originally added, I guess, after the fact, and it was the rumor is it was supposed to be Chewbacca's people in Return of the Jedi, but I guess George Lucas did kind of the cash grab thing, made cuter puppets or whatever, but to me, as a kid watching that, I didn't notice. There was nothing about me that was like jaded and like, oh, this sucks. You know, I didn't fanboy out or troll him. I was just like, this is cool. I like the Ewoks. I'm a kid. I'm just enjoying the moment. And so that's how I look at. I try to consider the first three or Episode 1, 2, and 3, even with Jar Jar Binks. You know, I looked at Jar Jar Binks from the perspective of a 20-year-old who really nerds out, and because I still hate Jar Jar Binks. In fact, I hope the Nintendo theme park has just a room full of Jar Jar Binks that I would pay $100 to walk into that room with a baseball bat. All right? I hated Jar Jar Binks. I look at Jar Jar, though. Was that the case with kids growing up? Did they actually like Jar Jar Binks like I liked the Ewoks? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, when you're a kid, the innocence kind of takes over, man. I remember having the Jar Jar Binks coffee mug, and I love that. I drank everything out of that, dude. And it's, I mean, obviously when I got older, you know, it was like, Jar Jar, maybe you're not as cool as I thought, but it's hard for kids to have some type of like analytical sense when it comes to these things, you know, because it's just like that's why they created him. I think he was loud and he was kind of like flamboyant and he was kind of all over the place. And I think that was for kids, man. It was solely for kids. So, but hey, don't get me wrong. I know I said I like the prequels, but they're not my favorite. Return of the Jedi is my favorite, then A New Hope.
A New Hope. Okay, yeah. You know what? I think A New Hope definitely gets overlooked because of the greatness of a lot of people like Empire Strike Back because it ends on the dark note.
I will say that I feel like the solo movies the solo movie was unnecessary, or I feel like instead of the solo movie, they should have done Obi-Wan Kenobi movie. That would have been him with the rematch with Darth Maul. Oh my goodness, dude.
I like the solo movie because I'm obsessed with Chewbacca, so I loved seeing Chewbacca's backstory there.
Yeah.
Oh, I like the solo movie.
Yeah. I mean, I do enjoy it, but I want to see exiled Obi-Wan Kenobi fight Darth Maul on Tatooine or something, man. That would be so cool, and it would be the type of movie it would be a Western.
That would really
would be. Because
I can see that.
EPS corrected me and said that Darth Maul didn't actually die. Did he get like cut in half though?
He got cut in half, and then he got robotic prosthetic legs.
Yeah, if you watch the animated series, I think it's on
Cartoon Network.
Yeah, it's on Cartoon Network. Yeah, they brought him back for like a full storyline of him like going after Obi-Wan and him running into the Emperor again, and it was like a huge battle between him and his brother. And
yeah, he's got a brother.
Mm-hmm.
Darth Maul's got a brother. It's his name is like Darth Savage or something like that, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Huh. I heard the cartoon was pretty good, so I definitely need to check that out. It was just, and I think, unfortunately, I think the solo movie, I think the Star Wars fans, maybe have gone on the verge of being pretty toxic, and I think that really hurt. Now, I will say that Disney probably didn't listen to them as much as they should have as well, because you never want to really offend your base, even if they are toxic. You got to kind of still... You still got to play to your base still. And I think Disney didn't listen to them enough, but I also think that the Star Wars community is kind of jaded as well. So it's hard. Also, guys, so moving on from that, let me address the question that Christian asked. He asked, because we're all video gamers and stuff, what cell phones do you guys have? Do you feel, if you're comfortable, what kind of cell phone do you guys have?
Galaxy Note 9.
Is that like the newest? I don't have, my cell phone has a giant crack in it. I don't play anything on it. I just it sucks. My cell phone is a potato. So what?
I have an iPhone. iPhone probably like 3 generations ago.
Okay. And what about you, Mark?
I have an iPhone 6s Plus.
Is that like the latest? No, they're at like X, aren't they? Or 10 or something?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I feel like it hasn't jumped enough to justify me spending another $1,000 on a phone yet. Maybe once it can make me breakfast or something, then, I'll...
Yeah, make me some bacon. I want a bacon app. I'm surprised. Like, nowadays, it's like the 3 major purchases in your life are house, car, phone. You get their payment plans for phones nowadays. It's like...
That's insane to me.
Does anybody play any kind of phone app games? Is there any like phone app game that you're like, yes, I love this? Or if you have a tablet, are there any of those kind of games? Because I know we're pretty much all against it. But that's actually kind of made the news this week with Nintendo. So tell me, do you guys have any app games that you really enjoy that are solely on a tablet or phone?
I mean, of course, when Super Mario Run first came out, I was invested in that, just like when the other Mario game comes out. I mean, I played it straight. I played it every day as much as I could until I got a little bit into a Pokemon Run 2, but I played it for like a few days. I really didn't grip me like I thought it would. And I just kind of let it go. But definitely, Super Mario Run is probably the only phone app game that I've ever been, I would say, addicted to.
Which would kind of make sense because Mario Run is more or less a full-fledged Mario game, so it kind of just falls in line with you just really enjoying that type of game. What about you, David? Anything really? Your coffee break, you're just, trying to Candy Crush it or anything?
Not really, man. I've been really wanting to get into Animal Crossing Pocket Camp.
My wife loves that one.
To kind of gear up for the new Animal Crossing, because I haven't legit played an Animal Crossing game since the GameCube one.
Me too.
I have all of them as a collector. It's just kind of like by trade. But the last one where I actually logged in and went in and pulled some weeds and paid some bills was the GameCube one. So
same.
But as far as like coffee break stuff, man, I don't know. I'm just addicted to Twitter and YouTube. That's just kind of my go-to. So
yeah, me too.
I do the same thing.
Yep.
Because Twitter is, despite its controversies and stuff, Twitter is where I get all of my news. So.
Okay. Devin, anything that you play?
Honestly, it's Pokemon Go and Mario Run. I still play Mario Run.
Yeah, I checked out almost all of it. I haven't actually checked out Drosroglia Lost or whatever that new one is. But I've checked them all out. Fire Emblem was kind of cool, but it didn't keep my attention like it does the Japanese. That game sells a ton of money. And it makes a lot of money in there. But you know something, guys? Nintendo was in the news this week because Nintendo said to their mobile app partners, hey, cool it on getting people to do these microtransactions. They said, give them rare stuff for free. Now that, and this is what makes me mad kind of about the YouTube community. I didn't hear a ton of praise for Nintendo on this. All I heard was, that's kind of a weird business model. Where was the praise? I hear a lot of bad talk about EA and Diablo M because of microtransactions or the forthcoming microtransaction apocalypse. But why wasn't everybody just shouting the praises of Nintendo for actually telling their people, hey, stop that?
I think because bashing EA is just a popular thing to do, even though they deserve it 90% of the time. I think just Nintendo's fan base is just so passionate about their games, and just even when they do something bad or supposedly bad, I think we just we're just so passionate about it that we just kind of let it go. Where EA, I mean, they've just done things that is borderline a smack in the face to gamers that people are just over it, and they just let them have it 90% of the time. So
yeah, I'm just mad that like we have ourselves a company that is doing the right thing, and nobody. All I heard was, that's odd. I mean, Nintendo literally saying, charge the customers less, give them more. You get what I'm saying? Where are the YouTubers? They're quick to complain, but why aren't they quick to praise?
Right.
Valid point.
What was the Ken? What was the original question?
I don't know. I think I said, what was your favorite Star Wars movie?
No.
Something along the lines of, Nintendo has told, I don't know if you know this, but Nintendo told their mobile partners, like, to lessen up on the rare items that you have to pay for and to give it more frequently for free. And basically, I just want to know, why aren't more people praising Nintendo for this this model in their mobile games, to less monetizing, less loot boxes? Because, I mean, as a company, you would think they just want to maximize as much money as they can. And yet, they're telling their people, don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying? That was kind of what I was addressing. And I want to know, where are the YouTubers to praise them? Why are the YouTubers just saying, oh, that's odd?
Because opposition gets some more clicks, man.
Yeah.
I've been doing the YouTube thing for about a year and a half now, and I tell you what, every time I talk about something controversial, definitely the most views that I get.
I know, man. It sucks because I'll tell you, I did the Labo reaction video to people, and I really don't want to call people. I don't want to say names. But I'm so close. That video, like, I actually had a couple YouTubers that I had in there originally, and I just don't want it to come across like, oh, you got 1,000 subscribers, so you're just jealous. I mean, I am jealous. I'm not gonna lie. I want 1 billion subscribers. I want to be Ken versus T series, but it's not gonna happen or whatever. And I just get so frustrated that these people, they're riding the coattails of the Switch's success, and they're not even sticking up for it. They're claiming. Now, if they were just like, I hate Nintendo, and now my channel is an I hate Nintendo channel, I'm just going to talk about why I hate Nintendo, well, then I can respect it. But when they're like, oh yeah, I'm such a Nintendo fanboy, and then they just proceed to bash or not stick up for Nintendo, it's just really frustrating to me. And I don't know. Will I come across wrong if I start naming names? Because I'm like this close. Like, I might have like Bash YouTuber Fridays or something.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about, man. You don't even have to say a name. I already know who you're talking about, so.
Yeah, I'm just like, I'm getting close. This was the closest I got to being like very like, usually I only get this angry on my channel when somebody mails me something in an envelope. It's like, what do you think, Mark? Do I need to, because you know what, guys, I used to be a troll. I know all the tricks. If I ever do get famous and people look into my background, they're going to, wow, that guy changed. And, and it's going to be Like, so I can do these things. I can do all the things. I know the tricks. Mark, should I? You're almost at 1,000 subscribers. We're kind of you and me are colleagues right now at a certain level. Should I go crazy? Should I light the internet on fire, or should I just try to be calm and collective?
It's a slippery slope, man. Because if you risk that and you make a video just bashing other people, and it gets like 50,000 views, then you get a whole slew of new people coming in, and then that's what they're gonna expect.
That's true. You. But maybe I can sway them into being nicer also, just like maybe I can be both.
Yeah, you could try.
Mark's like, I don't know what to say. Help me, Devin.
Yeah, I would honestly say don't do that, because it's gonna I probably just not gonna end well.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm getting frustrated, and Labo usually brings it out though, because it's just like Labo is like the thing that because I don't even like Labo that much, to tell you the truth, guys. I just don't really care for it. And people would probably look at my videos as like, wow, this guy's really passionate about Labo. No, I actually have almost zero opinion on it. It's just what it represents. I mean, it was kind of cool. I did a video where I was the robot. I got bored with it for like after 5 minutes, and then I was just like, I won't buy it again.
Excuse me, guys. I'll be back. I gotta take a phone call.
All right. David's a little out of it this week, people, because he got like his wisdom teeth. He's just on drugs right now, like prescribed. Let's talk bad about David right now. So he's just a little out of it this week. Also, William is not with us this week because his wife, Margot, is not feeling well. So shout out to Margot. Hopefully you're feeling better. Nick says, Mark, I subbed to your channel last time you were on. I gotta say, love it. Oh, Nick, can you tell us, Nick, is there one thing in the chat that you can maybe tell the other people in the chat why you love Mark's channel? And feel free to make things up, So let me see what else. I'm just reading the chat right now. Oh, also I want to say congratulations to Christian. He's getting himself a Nintendo Switch for the first time. So, Devin, we're going into year 3, or no, this is year 2 of the Nintendo Switch. So can you tell Christian what he needs to get without using the word Zelda or Mario?
It would depend on if he likes brutally hard games, because I would honestly say Dark Souls. I enjoyed that more than I thought on the Switch.
Okay.
And Salt and Sanctuary.
Bayonetta,
yeah, definitely.
And Bayonetta comes with 2 games, Bayonetta 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
And I would honestly say Starlink too, because Starlink was a really fun game. I didn't get as far into it as I thought I was going to, because I have so many games at this point. But
yeah, and Christian has kids, so Starlink would be a good one, and especially now because it routinely goes for $20-$30, and you can get yourself like a little cool toy with it as well.
Oh yeah, I'm actually half tempted to go buy another one of the Starlinks just so I can have another one of the R-Wings. The R-Wing that I got, one of the wings is a little like loose, and I don't really like it, so I'm gonna probably buy another one soon.
Yeah, I tell you what, I actually purchased a Starlink a couple of weeks ago, sorely for just to get the R-Wing. It was on sale at Target for like $30, and I actually price matched it for Amazon. It was like $25 there, so I only spent like $25 for the entire package, and I'm actually having a whole lot of fun with it. So yeah, I highly recommend that as well if you're any kind of a Star Fox or just a shooter fan. So
okay, so David, can you hear us?
Yeah.
So here's the question. So Christian is getting a Nintendo Switch now, 2 years in. So, and I'm going to throw this back at you guys, Devin and Mark, and you can repeat some of your answers without saying he's getting Smash, he's getting Odyssey, and he's getting Breath of the Wild right away. So I want you to tell Christian 3 first party, 3. If you can't do 3, then do, at least 1. 1 first party, 1 third party, and 1 independent game that he must have, that he must buy. and you can't repeat someone's answer. David, you can go first.
Okay.
He must buy these. These are must buys. One of each. Independent, indie, third party, first party.
First party, I'm going to say Toad's Treasure Tracker.
Okay. Toad's Treasure Tracker.
Third party, I'm going to say Bayonetta 1 and 2.
Ooh, he took yours. Sorry, man.
Uh-oh. Okay. I'm going to say Sonic Mania then.
Okay, Sonic Mania.
And indie, I'm going to say, does it matter if it's digital or physical?
Doesn't matter. Extra gaming. Have fun making the video. I am a subscriber of your channel as well, so I'll check it out later. What's your indie game?
I'm going to say Celeste.
Celeste. Ooh. Celeste is very difficult. So let's throw it now to Mark. First, third, and indie.
Third party. Tough, man. It's tough. Is it Dragon Ball Fighter Z on the Switch now?
Yes, it is.
Yes,
Yeah,
it is.
go for that. That's really fun.
Now, would you go for that even though he's about to get Smash Brothers? Like, does it stand? Is it like, because you don't want to like.
Even if you're not a huge Dragon Ball Z fan, I mean, if you're any kind of a fan of like Street Fighter, Marvel vs. Capcom, anything of those styles of games, Dragon Ball Z Fighters is right up your alley. So
Okay, so that's your third party. What's your first party?
First party, I would say Splatoon 2.
Okay.
And then indie, I really don't have an opinion because I just haven't really ever jumped headfirst into the indie plethora.
Oh, okay. Well, we might have to sell Mark on indie games then. So let's come back to that. I would actually like to have I would like to know why you haven't gone the indie route. So we'll skip indie then. And David, if you can remember to address that with Mark a little later. Okay, Devin, what's your three?
Well, I'm kind of bad with the whole understanding of the first party and third party games, to be honest. So I don't let this sound weird, but indie game would probably be Dead Cells.
Okay.
I love that game.
Yeah, and if you don't know what that game is, that's the game that the IGN guy plagiarized, and it made a lot of news, apparently, which was like the best thing for that game because it got a lot of attention because of that, and it was like a lot of people said it was an excellent game. So, okay, go on.
And Salt and Sanctuary, what would that be under?
I think that's going to be an indie game, even though it got a physical.
Really?
Might not be.
See, I'm really bad at this, though. So, Binding of Isaac, what would that be falling under then?
That's third party.
Okay, so Binding of Isaac would definitely be one of them. And then first, what is that in the category? Like, what are those?
Nintendo games.
Mm-hmm.
I need to look at my games. I have so many.
Okay,
Mega Man 11.
What?
Mega Man 11.
That is third party.
Really?
Yes.
Legit. Okay, I don't know that. I can't. I'm really...
I would say think of like the Smash Brothers characters, but there's so many third party characters on Smash now. You can't
that's true.
Like, I'm losing it right now.
Okay, well, let me
think of give us a title with Mario in it.
Yeah, Mario Kart. What about that? Would you recommend that one?
Yeah, but I feel like everybody has Mario Kart or will
Yeah.
inevitably get it regardless. So probably Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe or whatever that title is.
Nice, good one.
Yeah, okay. Let me see. What would I do for Christian? You think I like all this time I'm just like listening to you guys. I'm not thinking myself. Indie, I'm gonna say here's a gem. Flame in the Flood. But that's like a survival game. So like, and it goes on sale routinely for like $7.50. So don't buy it full price. So Flame in the Flood. I would also say get Nintendo Switch Online. That'll open you up to a good, quick library of games, plus Tetris 99. But I'm not going to throw that in there as any of my picks. So Flame in the Flood, survival game. Definitely not for everybody, but it's still going to be really cool. Then I would say third party. What's my favorite third-party game on the Nintendo Switch? Shoot, I should have really thought of these. I wasn't thinking, guys. I'm sorry.
Well, the whole reason why I can't think of it is because, look, I have all three of these filled with games. And then I also have these. So
read off your games. Read off your games right now. Just read them off.
Dude,
come on.
Dead Cells, Smash Bros, Peach Ball.
Peach Ball?
Yeah, it's the Japanese game William told me about.
Oh, gosh.
That up on this channel.
All right, moving along.
Liar Princess and the Blind Prince, Remy Lore, Arms, Bendy and the Ink Machine, Super Bomberman, Has-Been Heroes, Wild Guns, It'll Do, Kirby Star Allies. I forgot about that one.
Oh, yeah, that. You know what? I'm going to throw that one in as the one to get because he has kids, and that would be perfect. And he has a wife, and I could see like your wife actually really enjoying that one too. And it's something as a dad. Don't play that one alone. Just play it with your kids watching. That's a great one. So I'm going to throw actually Kirby as that game for my first party. Go on, keep going. What do you got?
Mario Kart 8, Super Mario Party, Overcooked 2, Katamari Damacy, Travis Strikes Again, Dark Souls, Octopath Traveler, Kabuto Burst Battle, Cave Story, Bayonetta 2, Disgaea 5, Crash, Runner 3, Penny Punching Princess, Snipper Clips, Cube 2, which I just got, which is actually really fun.
All right, stop again. I'm going to throw... Also, I know that Christian is a big Final Fantasy VII guy, so let's throw Octopath as my third-party game. Good morning, David's mom, Veronica David. How are you today? And Devin, have you played all those games?
Yes.
You have?
No, I have not maybe completed all of them, but I've played every single one.
How far do you get? Because that's a lot of games, my friend. You could probably stop buying Switch games right now and play those until you die, and like you would have a new game.
Probably.
Because that's a lot of games. And you were telling us before the show that you've amassed a Switch library. Why are you still buying games?
Dude, I don't know. I get into this too much.
Well, it's like you said, Ken, like the Switch is I can barely talk right now, man.
I know you're feeling it. I appreciate you coming on the show, even though you're like, all drugged up and stuff. Prescribed drugs. Don't worry, David's mom. I don't want David's mom to be like, what? Drugs?
The Switch you said is very collectible at the moment, and you said it's the only time you've seen a current gen become very collectible within its initial run.
Yeah, it became collectible like 3 months after the fact. Binding of Isaac started it, I think.
But yeah, I mean Devin's collection is impressive, man. I wish I could. Sorry, Mark, what were you saying?
I said yes, it is. It's very, very, very impressive. I was also going to do what we're all forgetting, and obvious. Actually, Borderline Masterpiece the first party title as well. It actually originally came out on the Wii U, but Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze.
Yes.
The best games that I've played and the Switch. So it's definitely a really hot one to get into as well. It's hard as all get out now. Be forewarned, you definitely you're gonna need your patience and your grit to get through it. But if you're able to get the experience, it's really a rewarding game. So
yeah, I agree, and I really need to play more of it. And you're right, that's kind of what I was like, David. You're right. It's just like it is kind of crazy. The Switch is like a collectible right off the bat, and I think a lot of it has to do with the indie games. The fact that, the indie games, it was so good that Nintendo got the indies in right away. But the indie games, like, they were so, like, their print runs were so small that it allowed the Switch to become really collectible really quick. And when something becomes collectible, it just draws the attention of other people. Like Pops, it's just like Pops. And it looks like David's mom is the one drugging David, so she's an enabler. So no, David, your tooth, right? You have a wisdom teeth problems and issues. And then did I say William? I meant David. And then William's not here because his wife is having some issues. So something big happened to me, Devin. Thanks for the $1 donation. I didn't know how that worked. Actually, I guess there's something called Super Chat. When you get 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watched hours, you can get you get hang on a second, my kids are like loud. You guys talk about something. I don't know. Talk about something. What's your okay? You guys clicked video games. Do you guys click anything else other than video games?
Oh my God, are you kidding me?
Well, I know you, man. I saw some of your channel. Like,
Yeah.
What don't you collect is a better question on Mark's channel. I'm like, Mark, do you collect rocks? Oh yeah, look at these rocks over here. This one's shaped like a Dragon Ball. David, do you have anything you go after?
Not really, man. Games is kind of like the main thing. I wanted to get into VHS stuff.
Why?
VHS, something about watching VHS movies on like an old CRT. Something kind of nostalgic about that.
If you start saying laser discs, dude, you're gonna have a problem. Those things are huge.
Yeah, no worries. No laser discs. No laser discs yet. But yeah, that's all I really collect, man. When's the last time you guys have gone like actual game hunting, like garage sale stuff?
I haven't done that in a while. There's a lot of garage sales and like yard sales around here, and flea markets too. But I find people that'll have the stuff and then they'll have it like astronomically priced, or it's going to be in horrible condition with the same price. And then they'll look, well on eBay was this, da. I'm like, well, the game doesn't work. So I don't know. It gets annoying in this area.
I tell you what, man, it's funny that you mentioned that. So within like the previous 2 years or so, somehow I lost my original copy.
Hi.
Well, if you're gonna say hi, say hi to.
So
Yeah,
I lost
sit
my
up.
copy. Hi.
Hey.
All right, I'll go.
But what was I saying? I lost my original copy of Super Mario 64. So I've been going to all these Comic-Con, gaming cons, and like anime cons, and like garage sales, trying to find a Super Mario 64 at like a decent price. And like I don't need the box or anything. But it doesn't need to be mint. I just want the game itself, and people are not selling it less than like $50 or $60. I'm like,
oh, I can find it cheaper around here, dude. Honestly, I have you on Facebook, I can almost guarantee I can find that cheaper here.
Oh, please, man, because I don't know what it is about Kentucky, man. I've been to like 3 different cons, and they all have been selling Super Mario 64 for at least $50. Dude.
Yeah. I've gotten really, really lucky finding games for N64 that are above retail value. I found them for like $15-$20. Like I found a copy of Conker's Bad Fur Day for $15 or $20 like 2 years ago, and this is when it was going for $80. So I have the best luck, man. And it's funny because like I don't go out to garage sales anymore because, you know, when I had the fervor for finding games, I was out every Saturday hitting it hard. And then I just got burnt out, man. And it wasn't really that I got burnt out, but it's that I found a couple really good lots. Like majority of my GameCube games, dude, I found this crazy GameCube lot. It was $5 per game. Some were sealed. And I think that was actually my last big lot that I had. And after you hit something like that, you're like, you know what? I'm good. You know, I mean, I'm fine.
My friend, I think I've mentioned this in the past, but Mark, I don't think you've ever heard this. My friend in high school was a big Super Nintendo fan. I've always been that way too. He went to a yard sale and found a box. Super Nintendo and all kinds of cords stacked up on top of it, and there was games in there too. He didn't even bother looking. The guy was like, take it for $10. No lie, goes home. Earthbound, Chrono Trigger, Pretty much every rare thing you can find in one box.
Oh,
I was so mad. And that's what it sounds bad, but when you find somebody that's like an older person that's just trying to get rid of their kids' stuff and have no idea and just don't care, best time to find it.
There's no truer statement than another man's trash is clearly another man's trash.
Yeah, it really is. But that's the thing, like, I keep going on a Mercari lately, and the reason why I have all these games is because I keep finding people that are selling lots of, like, Switch games for next to nothing, so I'm like, why not?
Yeah, when I asked you that question earlier, I mean, I am definitely not one to talk. If you look at I have a whole series on Mondays where I just open crap. So I totally understand.
But if you got the chance to play Cube 2 from Super Rare, it's actually really fun.
Is that the one with like the plus sign on it?
No.
Okay.
It's I don't have the case, but it's the one right in the middle there next to Zelda.
Oh yeah, okay.
The only other thing, it kind of soured me on Super Rare because I do like the fact that Super Rare sent it out almost immediately. Limited run games, I felt like it took 2 or 3 months for them.
Limited run games takes a very long time. Very long time.
That was annoying, but I get the game, and then I was like, I ordered 2 copies of these because I wanted to have one open and one sealed. And I'm like, where is it? So I messaged them. They were like, oh, okay, we'll rectify it, and sent me another copy, but it was still a little bit annoying. But I'm glad that they didn't give me any issues on actually getting another copy, though.
I will say that Super Rare games, they are really fast. One of the reasons why they're very fast, okay, so basically, limited run games, Super Rare games, excuse me, just basically these are companies that go to small indie developers and say, hey, we know you don't have a lot of money, we'll publish your game for you on a cartridge. Done deal. The reason why limited run games take so long, though, is because limited run for Nintendo Switch games, you have to hit a certain number to buy, I guess. And limited run games, they take pre-orders. But Super Rare, they just straight up say we're gonna make 3,000 copies. So basically, they can make their game, have it in hand, do the order, and then ship it. While limited run games, they have to figure out, okay, we have 12,000 people who are going to pre-order this game. Then they go into production. Then they ship it out. So that's why they take so long. Pros and cons to both. But I get what you're saying. And for me, both companies have stellar customer service. Do they make mistakes? Yes, because they are small. But I'll tell you what, Amazon makes more mistakes than I've had with Super Rare and Limited Run. Don't get me started on Amazon.
I don't know if you've ever gotten one of the premium packaging from Super Rare, but I really like the packaging they send things in.
Yeah. But let me get back to something. Also, EPS 5000. Yes, post your Twitter on Twitter your collection. I might not get to it today because I'm in a different setup, but I would like to see it and maybe even showcase it next week. So the channel got monetized. I want to say thank you to everybody. The channel is monetized. I know, Mark, you're 180 subscribers away from being monetized. It's a really cool feeling. Does things change a lot? No. I'll tell you what, since I got monetized last Sunday, so far I've made $1. Actually, $2. Devin, you gave me 100% more than I actually had today. So it's definitely, it's like you just don't make a lot of money off it. And I am not there's going to be no point in my channel that I guess it's called e-begging. It's like, I don't want to do that. I just don't want to do that. I'm not going to sit here, though, and say I'm not going to accept money either. If someone wants to throw a brick of money through my window, go for it. As long as it covers the damages to the window, I will be happy with that brick of money. I'd be like, thank you. But
honestly, there's been certain YouTubers that I've unsubscribed from because they just Patreon.
Yeah.
Hey, donate, please, for the love of God, just donate to my Patreon. I'm like, no.
Yeah, exactly. No. And this is going to be one of the only times that I do talk about this. And that's only because I kind of want to celebrate it with you guys. I think it's cool. It's like almost like I feel like you 1,400 subscribers or whatever. I almost feel like yeah, guys, you got me here. You don't need to throw a dime at my way. But I will say this, like Nick Clayton is actually a Patreon. I have four Patreons, and I make roughly, I think, $20 a month off of them, or they give the channel $20 a month, and then, you know, I get ad revenue now. So if you want to do anything, if I could like ask anything, you know, feel free to keep watching those ads if time allows. But it's not a thing. I would love to make a living off of YouTube. So that way I wouldn't have to cancel my Friday Night Smash because I have to work on Sundays or whatever. But, you know, I'm not even worried about it. I'm just like super happy. To me, it's a milestone, a YouTube milestone to hit. And I'm glad that, hey, I just made $1 last week for doing something I was going to do anyways. So I'm happy about that. I'll take a free $1. You know, I'll go buy a cheeseburger at McDonald's. But to me, it's more important to just keep getting the channel out there. I definitely want to be a positive Nintendo YouTuber. And I want to turn the tide of a lot of the negativity that I see or on the fence stuff. But I just want to say thank you, everybody, for helping me, because I know a lot of you out there. EPS 5000, Nick, Paradox. I know you're not on the channel right now, but you guys have watched the videos, and that's the hugest thing. That's the thing that I just like. If you guys can watch the videos and let me know how you feel about them. If I'm going in the wrong direction, let me know, because I'm not going to be the same person I am right this second that I'm going to be 2 years from now. Everybody changes. They grow. Now, am I going to grow good or am I going to grow bad? You know, hopefully you guys are around to keep me in check, because if I start becoming a jerk at any point, then it's like, you know, I'm just not worth your time, and just let me know. And if I get to a point that I just don't listen to people, then yeah, I'm not worth it. And I know like a lot of this talk is stuff that, like, I'm small. I'm still like 1,000 subscribers, whatever, who cares, right? But I want to have a mindset of now, the same mindset I have when I have 100,000 subscribers. And that's the goal. I want 100,000 subscribers. I want 1 million subscribers. But I want to say that like Friday Night Smash, when I have that, someone, I think it was Paradox, he was like, are we still going to do Friday Night Smashes when you get like thousands of subscribers? And I'm like, yeah, dude, we're going to totally do that. I'll just set up an arena with a code. And that way, you know, it's like the people who are with me now are the people who are going to be with me forever. You know, you never forget. You just don't forget. That's just not what you do. Like I said, you know, you just keep going. And I apologize. Do I sound like I'm coming across like big-headed or something? Because I don't want to. It's not. That's why I was like, I didn't know how to do a celebratory video. I filmed a celebratory video, and my wife was like, yeah, I don't know if that sounds right. So then I changed it to just her reaction.
No,
So,
you're not coming across as big-headed.
No,
But
no.
my mom does have a question for you, and it's is that Garfield in the back on a swing?
no, that's Nibbles. Right here, Nibbles. Let's see. Can I point to it? Nibbles right there. Nibbles is a creature that will eat books, and if he gets out of his book, he will go into he'll just eat all the books in your house. So thank you for letting me know he was there, because now I'll have to recapture him. Otherwise, he will literally eat all your books. And he has a book series called Nibbles, and that's what it is. So, not Garfield. I did read a lot of Garfield growing up, though. Jim Davis is the author. There's your fun fact of the day, people. So yeah, so that's what I'll say. And I'll tell you what, guys, I will show you guys when I get, because you have to have $100 before YouTube pays you out. I will show so this is what, March 7th. I'll show you guys when I first get the $100 from YouTube. You'll see that it takes a very long time, so it's just whatever. And I'll just take that money and reinvest. I need to get better cameras and better lighting and all this stuff. So for the most part, it's just reinvesting stuff. Anyways, and if there's any questions about it, let me know. I want to spend too much time on it, because I don't want to be e-begging and stuff like that. But like I said, I'm not going to refuse money either, because I'm very, very appreciative of my 4 patrons, Jordan and Paul Cobb and #AutismAwareness Winston and Nick. I'm very appreciative that you guys believe in me like that. But I know that everybody else who is not quote unquote paying, they also believe in me, and it's awesome. So
no, you definitely come across as humble and not big headed at all, man. So hopefully you get to those goals, man, and we hope to be here with you alongside for the journey. So
yeah, this podcast, I feel the podcast is like, I don't know, the podcast has become like the cornerstone, I believe, of this channel. It wasn't at first. And Devin, I got to thank you. You know, Devin was with me when we were on Twitch, just me and him talking. Remember that, those days?
Yeah.
We started on Twitch, me and Devin, and it was just to get our feet wet. Then we kind of came over to YouTube. My channel had already been going. And then me and David, we met, Lego, Wii U. Mark, I don't know. We actually talked a long time ago, but we never about the podcast, so I don't know when me and Mark met.
It was somewhere on Joshua's Facebook group. I think that's where I really started to get the feel of your videos, and I was like, all right, cool. This guy is honest, and he makes really really good content. And, I'm gonna subscribe. See what he's all about. So,
and that's another thing on like a kind of another track. Why I love Nintendo so much, because if it wasn't for these things right here, I would never have known Ken.
Yeah, that's right. Amiibos. I should do a story time video on just some of these things. That's the thing, I guess. My wife tells me all these, like, just do a story time. Me and Devin, I was in an Amiibo group, and the Rosalina. It was Rosalina. She was a Target exclusive, and she went up for pre-order and was gone in like a second. And then some dude bought like 1 million of them and was just like, I hate Rosalina, so I bought them all so nobody can have them. Ha ha ha. And he's like, you can Google the Rosalina guy. And he, anyway, so I got so mad. No, it was Jigglypuff. It was Jigglypuff that happened with. I got so mad I couldn't get Jigglypuff and I bought Amiibos, like when they were first announced, a lot of people didn't get on board, and that's why they became so scarce. I bought all the Amiibos like months before they came out. So here I was, like, trying to compete with all these people who jumped on the bandwagon, and so I was so frustrated. I went into my Amiibo group and was like, I want 12 people who will take shifts. And Devin was like, I work the night shift. I'll take night shift. And that's how me and Devin, and that our group is still kind of together. We still talk every once in a while, but it's like, it's nowhere near where it was. And, but me and Devin, we still connected. I could tell that Devin was like a little more hardcore. Snap, though, I wish we could have got a little more with Snap, but whatever. And that's how me and Devin connected.
Mm-hmm. But that's the moral of the story there. It's just like Nintendo, not only just a video game company to me, it's a nostalgic thing for my brother. It's brought me friends like Ken and now Mark and David and William. It's always been a good thing for me and always will be.
So, yeah.
It's, I feel like, these last 6 months have been pretty, just kind of a whirlwind, because if it wasn't for me finding this game, I don't think I'd be on this panel, to be honest.
Probably not.
So
I'm trying to get close to you so I can get that game, actually.
I remember the flood of people that were in my inbox, man, and my DMs hit me up. So Ken was one of those guys, but you were really nice about it. So everyone was really nice about it. It's just like you go from one day just kind of not having the game, and then the next day you have it, and it's like your post is like the most like post in a while, and it's like, wow, is this really happening right now? So, but Ken or Devin, how did you find out about the fact that I found the game? Did you see it pop up on your feed as well, or?
No, I watched Ken's YouTube video, and then that's how I learned about you.
Okay.
Yeah, what we're talking about is, David, you found what I believe is the rarest modern game out there, Lego Wii U Dr. Wu exclusive, Target exclusive. And I was just like shocked because there's I'm part of a lot of groups on Facebook, and there's this Wii U group. It's only like, I don't even know how many people are in it. I don't know if it's 200 people or 2,000 people, but It's just, to me, it was like the best group that I've ever been a part of, and I'm actually kind of sad that it's a Wii U group, only because it just means that, you know, it's pretty much just going to be locked away there, and a lot of the people have kind of slowly faded out because the Wii U's just, you know, their collections are complete or whatever. But it was just such a bunch of nice people. Speaking of, like, one last thing. EPS 5000 said, I knew someone that completely changed once they became monetized. Now, if you want to join their Discord server, you need to join their patrons. They also only answer questions if it's in Super Chat. Yeah, that won't be me. Seriously, I might not answer your questions, but that's only because I didn't see it. Like, I'm sure there's a lot of valid comments and stuff that I didn't see, or I'm forgetful. That's not going to be this channel. If it is this channel, please let me know privately. Do me a favor. If I ever become a jerk, you guys privately tell me. And if that doesn't work, publicly tell me. And if that doesn't work, just unsubscribe, because
hey Ken, you're a jerk.
All right, get off. You can unsubscribe. So then, what I was gonna say though, what were we just talking about? Like, literally, I had something to say about that.
Amiibos and how we all met each other.
Amiibos meeting each other. No. Oh well, I forgot it. I'll come back to it. It was really in the news, though.
We're talking about the David and his
yes, that's what we're talking about. Okay, so I'm going to do an interview like I did with you, David, with somebody who recently found an unknown prototype of a wrestling game. And this is getting huge coverage everywhere. Like the WWE, which is World Wrestling Entertainment, you know, they're the guys with Hulk Hogan, if you guys don't know, WrestleMania. They actually even ran a story on this. And this guy, he was in a Facebook group. And so I actually knew about the story before it blew up, but now it's just like going crazy. And I asked him, I'm supposed to interview him tomorrow. And hopefully I'll have that interview up. But yeah, he found a prototype of a game that Nintendo made, never released. So there's only the prototype exists. Isn't that cool? Can you, like, there are still not just holy grails, but like unknown quantities out there of things that, you know, it's just video game history. This thing could have been lost forever. The guy was a former Nintendo employee who had it, and he was just like, yeah, they gave it to me because they knew I liked wrestling. Isn't that crazy?
Wow.
Very crazy.
And it's an NES game?
NES. It's
NES.
It's a prototype of the cartridge, but you can play the game. I mean, it's basically, I guess it was in the game tester. It was just, you know, they gave it to the guy to test, and it's wrestling characters like Ric Flair and the Road Warriors. So it's not WWE, actually. It's actually NWA, WCW. You would have to be kind of a wrestling fan to know to go that far back.
I got the character names right here, actually.
Who are they?
It's Road Warrior Animal, Hawk, Sting, Jimmy Garvin, Bobby Eaton, Lex Luger, Ric Flair, and Barry Windham.
Yeah, Barry Windham's actually a weird choice. The other guys, it's the Rock and Roll Express, the Road Warrior, Sting. I think a lot of people know Sting, and Ric Flair. Barry Windham is just like, that's a weird one.
I don't know. I haven't heard about this until you just brought it up, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and I'm going to do an interview with the guy tomorrow. I forgot it's daylight savings time, though, so, like, and I got to work super early, so I got to figure that out. Not that it really changes the time. It's just I might be off my game because I'm really tired on Sundays, but I wanted to get this out as soon as possible, so we'll see.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But it's just amazing. And if this game had been something else other than wrestling, it would probably be making even bigger waves. But I'm glad it's not tennis, because then it wouldn't even be making a splash.
Well, Ken, remember when I found that game, the Lego game, and you said that someone messaged you saying, I know where that store is at?
Yeah.
Okay. After the podcast, you'd be able to tell me who that is? I'm curious.
I would have to search through my inbox, but yeah, I can let you know.
Because he might be a fellow collector in the Dallas group.
Oh, yeah? I can let you know.
Yeah. Okay.
It looks very much like wrestling for the NES. Yeah, Nick says it looks like wrestling for the NES. It's actually, from the gameplay I saw, it looked better than the old WWE games on the NES, but it was definitely an NES game, you know. David's mom is asking, Devin, how's work?
It's going good so far. Tiring, very tiring.
You're a nurse, right?
A CNA.
CNA. And what's
Yeah.
that?
Certified nursing assistant.
Okay, so
Basically, I do what the nurses don't do.
okay, so the nurses complain about what the doctors don't do, and you complain about what the nurses don't do.
Exactly.
Is there anybody who complains about what you don't do?
No, because we're pretty much the lowest one.
You're the frontline people.
Yeah, basically.
So original NES with Superstar Man and Animal, etc. Okay, so I think the wrestling game that Nick is comparing it to in the chat is the wrestling game that is on the Nintendo Online. There's a wrestling game. You remember that, Dave? Devin?
No.
It's where me and you sing Barbie Girl, buddy. Remember that?
Yeah.
Let's hear a little bit of that again.
Yeah,
Nope.
come on.
Hey Ken, who's your favorite wrestler of all time?
Oh, dude, that Undertaker, probably Undertaker. He's just a legend. I wish he wouldn't have came back for his last match last year. I actually still am a wrestling fan. I hope you guys don't hold that against me. I love it. I love wrestling. And next year Royal Rumble's in town, and I'm going to be going to that. Undertaker, Mankind, Chris Jericho. As a child, it was Ultimate Warrior. As an adult, I look back and I'm like, why did I ever like that guy? His wrestling sucked, but man, I'll tell you what, that guy he would run to the ring and beat his chest. He was just awesome, phenomenal. And what about you?
Definitely Goldberg.
Goldberg? Oh man, I was a Goldberg hater. I hated Goldberg.
The whole time that he was like undefeated for like however many matches he had before he finally lost, I was like, and then his signature move of the freaking spear, I fell in love.
Yeah, I knew a lot of people who did, and I would just be like, he doesn't know how to wrestle. He only has 3 moves. I would try to tell everybody that.
Oh, good. They're so good.
He was intense though. I think he went 176 before Kevin Nash hit him with the cattle rod. I do remember. Link, what's up? Link is, there's someone in the chat named Linked. His actual name is Link. Isn't that amazing? I want a daughter named Zelda.
If I ever had a son, I always try to convince my wife, can we just call him Link? Like maybe like have his middle name be Link? I think that would be cool. Well,
Nick did convince, so it's me, Red Link. Just changed my name. Ha, Red Link. I was playing Zelda #1, and I just got the blue or white. I don't know what it is. Is it blue or white ring? So in the game, I'll tell you what. Have you guys gone back onto any of the old school Nintendo games and realized just how hard they are? And not even necessarily hard, but like they don't hold your hand. It's like it took me an hour to find Palace #2 because I was just wandering around lost.
Yeah.
The original Super Mario Brothers. I went back and played it on I think it was the NES game that comes with the Switch. I made it to like World 4. And I'm like, I am getting my butt kicked.
Yeah.
Like the precision timing is just so much more. It has to be so much more precise compared to like even 64 or Galaxy or anything like that. I mean, it has to be perfect.
Oh, dude, it's crazy. It's crazy. What about you, David? You got any Nintendo or Super Nintendo game that you go back and you're like, wow, it's not harder than I remember or whatever?
I can never get into the groove of Contra, man.
Contra, yeah. Yeah, that one's tough.
Contra is like, it's a different, your reflexes have to be, it's kind of like playing Ghosts and Goblins, man.
Yeah, that's another nightmare game.
Whoa.
Where it's like, you just, no matter how old you get and how much you adapt to, to fast paced games, that those are hard, man. I went to a barcade a few weeks ago, and I played the arcade version of Ghosts and Goblins. And dude, I got my butt kicked, dude.
Isn't that the game where you start off with armor? You get hit once, your armor's gone. You get hit again, you're dead. You start over.
Yeah.
No matter where you're at in the game.
Yep. So, but let's see, what's another one that I had trouble with?
I'm gonna go back. One of the reasons why I'm replaying the Zelda game is because I have a 12-hour video of Zelda music that I'm gonna throw up on my channel, like I did with the Waluigi stuff. But I'm gonna put the gameplay of Zelda 1 and Zelda 2 just so I can have some kind of visual on it. And I'm just like, wow, this is way harder than I remember.
I have another good one too. So if you follow my channel, you know I just went to the arcade con that we hold in my city like every year.
Oh yeah, when you go to those things, I saw you did that. When you go to those things, you got to talk to me first, so you get like a kind of a wish list from me, so I can tell you what I'm looking for.
Me too.
But I tell you what, man, I played the original Donkey Kong, and I played it for like 20 minutes, and I could not get past the first level. I admit it. I couldn't do it. Like it was so hard. So.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for. I played Donkey Kong at the arcade as well, and I barely got past the first one. I died immediately in the second one. But I love Dig Dug, man.
Me too. Love Dig Dug.
Dig Dug and Galaga. This is because I had a Namco Museum 64 back in the day, and that's all I played. I played a lot of Dig Dug, a lot of Galaga, and a lot of Miss Pac-Man. So
Miss Pac-Man's my favorite of the Pac-Mans, and I love Dig Dug. Galaga, I'm whatever on.
I wish they had an Echo Fighter for Pac-Man, and it was Miss Pac-Man.
Oh yeah, really totally.
And instead of the fruits, you would use like her pretzels and.
Yeah, that would be great. I would probably try to be. I love Miss Pac-Man. For the longest time, Miss Pac-Man was on my top 5 games of all time.
What would you do if one of the 5 DLC characters is not an actual player but an Echo Fighter? Would you be upset?
No. I think I wonder. I'd probably be a little disappointed, but I would probably be. I'd have to go on the defensive so quick because all the fanboys would be so mad. I'd be like, guys, they owe us nothing. Don't cut it out. So, but in my heart, though, I'd probably be a little disappointed.
So, when do you think you're? What was that?
What, Mark?
I'm still holding out for Shadow the Hedgehog.
Yeah,
that'd be awesome. I would be. I thought he was coming, man. I really thought he was coming.
Link is saying Geno for Smash. Also, Link says he's watching Pokemon Sun and Moon. That I really like that series actually, but I haven't seen part 2 yet of the series. But anyways, what were you saying?
Did you ever consider naming your kids after Zelda lore?
Unfortunately, no. When we had Abraham, I was just getting back into video games. There was 2 points in my life that I got out of video games for like 2 or 3 years, and I was just getting back with Abraham. But had I? I will say this though, Mark. I wanted to name him Jericho. Nice. But we went with Abraham. Jericho is a wrestler, and I was just like, and he has a theme music. It's like break the walls down, and I told Jess I'd play that every single time, and I think that's what actually lost me the ability to name him Jericho. The fact that I said he already has his own theme music.
Well, it's also a biblical name, right?
Abraham or Jericho, both are.
Jericho.
Yes. Even though we don't really talk religion, we're talking more facts here. Jericho is the name of a city in the Bible that the Israelites had to pretty much take down. And what they did was they circled around the city 7 times and then blew a trumpet, and the walls fell. And that's kind of how it. That's why the song, the wrestler Jericho, he kind of got his name from there, and that's why. His final finishing move is the Walls of Jericho, and that's why his theme music actually is also Break the Walls Down, because Break the Walls Down of Jericho. So, wrestling and biblical knowledge for you guys here on the Saturday Morning Podcast. I know a lot about a lot of things. I'm a giant dork in many realms.
You know a lot about history.
Huh?
You know a lot about history in general, right?
Yes, actually, I will mention this on Monday. It just so happened came up on my mail call Monday. I filmed it yesterday. My college degree, I'm a secondary education history social studies major. I taught. I don't teach anymore, but I taught. I taught history, geography, and social studies to middle schoolers for a while.
What made you get out of it?
Without getting too much into it, I did not like the direction that public schools were going. And I realized that I didn't have the love and passion that I feel a teacher needs because of what was going on behind the scenes. And so I just said, you know what? This isn't me. I don't want to be one of those teachers who just clocks in and clocks out. If I'm going to be a teacher, I want to have an impact on a kid's life in a positive way. And I'm not going to because I'm very bitter about this job. So I got to go.
Yeah.
So, anyways, video games.
So when do you think the Joker update is coming?
April. They've already said it.
April? Okay.
Yep. And so we're gonna get that in April. So I bet we get some. We get the next announcement. I bet they drop Joker. They announce the next one.
But if we do the math, there's 5, right?
Yep.
And I would think that it would be essentially like a character every 2.5 months, something like that.
Yeah, I hope we get all 5 before Christmas.
Do you think that's gonna happen? Because we're already 4 months into. We're gonna be 4 months into 2019 with our first character. So you would think that by the end of the summer, we'd have to have the next 2.
I think there's a good chance. I mean, Sakurai right now, I saw I think it was an Onion article. It said, Nintendo producer, and it's Sakurai, Nintendo producer loses every limb in a tragic car accident, shows up for work the next day.
Yeah.
And that also brings up another news article that happened. Sakurai apparently hooked up an IV to himself because he got food poisoned so he can continue working on Smash Brothers.
That's crazy, man.
That's not just crazy. The dude's insane.
Like I have this tooth pain right now, and I don't know how I'm gonna work on Monday, to be honest. So
yeah, Sakurai's like, I'm tired, but I need to tweak Pac-Man.
So true, though. Like the last 3 Smash games that came out, there's always that article that comes out like right before or like during. Like Sakurai has been having chronic pain in every body. He doesn't know how he's gonna be able to make the next Smash game. But then like a year later, well, started development on the next Smash game again. So I'm like, oh, okay, well, yeah. Now. So, yeah.
I wonder if Sakurai made like a deal like with a genie or something and was like, you will live forever and get younger every year if you keep the Smash Brothers games coming. Because it's like he looks super young and these Smash Brothers and he's always won't stop. Like, Sakurai, you need to stop. I can't.
Must be a Will Smith genie.
Yeah, the Will Smith genie. I don't think the Will Smith genie looks that bad, to tell you the truth.
I don't think so either.
I was like, why is it? Do you think Will Smith looks bad, Mark?
I mean, it's not the best CGI I've ever seen, but it's definitely not the worst.
Yeah, Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh, that one. I almost, because I'm so pro Nintendo and I come up with all these dates, just wait and see. And then I see that Sonic the Hedgehog. I'm like, oh crap. If I say anything, I'm kind of a hypocrite. But how can I not say anything? That does look bad, you know?
It's bad.
There's 2 rant videos on my channel right now. I'm so tired of talking about that Sonic the Hedgehog. I just can't.
Give us a preview of your rant videos though. Like, what's your take? Like I said, I would become a hypocrite if I say something. So I'm gonna live vicariously through you right now.
It hurts my soul. It just hurts.
Yeah.
Since the beginning, and just the fact that they decided to change the character that much, where the core, direction of the character of the outlining of the character is right there for him. Like, why they change it that much? I just don't understand it. And then the fact that they gave them Nike shoes too. I think hurt me the most because it's just such obvious product placement. It's just not even funny.
I have no idea what you're talking about, but I am gonna buy some Nike shoes today because I'm a huge Sonic fan.
But I mean, that I'm still gonna go see it. I'm still gonna spend my money, and because I'm still gonna go in with the most optimistic viewpoint.
They better have a good story because people are going and hating.
Yeah, and like I'm hoping that Chris Pratt can like bring his charm in there and hopefully save it. And then I'm really
Is Chris Pratt Sonic?
Yeah.
Oh well, he might be able to.
Yeah. Then Jim Carrey is playing Dr. Robotnik. Hopefully, he can bring his charm in there too. And hopefully, they can do something with him, man. But
yeah, because Jim Carrey has the charisma to. I mean, he's played the Grinch and he's played Olaf, the guy from Series of Unfortunate Events. And those are great performances, man. He's a very theatrical kind of actor.
I don't know if this will get me in trouble. I'm not a big Jim Carrey fan. And I think sometimes, like, when he was the Riddler in Batman Forever, I really hated his performance. I think he's a great actor, like, in certain ones. More of his serious roles, actually, like Man on the Moon and stuff. But when it comes to him, I will say this. I hated Grinch at first, but when I rewatched it with my kids, I was actually okay with it. But some of his other stuff, I don't know. If he's too Jim Carrey, I think he could ruin Eggman. But if he's just enough Jim Carrey, then I think he can bring a lot to the table.
Yeah, my mom was actually on the set of Me, Myself, and Irene back in the 90s.
Oh, yeah? How did she get there?
Well, her and my dad were visiting Vermont just on a vacation, and they came across the set. They were just kind of driving around, and they came across the set. And it was the pivotal scene where they're on the bridge and they shoot his thumb off.
Oh, yeah.
That's the scene where what they saw. So pretty cool.
Gotcha. I just want to throw a question out or an answer real quick. EPS 5000 asked me how do you feel about them fixing the spelling mistakes in the original Zelda on Nintendo Switch Online? If you look at an old NES cart, fairy is spelled fair, a different spelling of fairy, etc. And they fixed it for online. And they've done this with a couple other things that I can't think of offhand. Just making corrections after the fact. Like I kind of look at it like this. If you have a first printing of a book and there's a spelling error or whatever, and the book becomes insanely popular, they're just going to fix it for they'll just fix it for the second printing or the 10th printing or whatever. I don't really care. I could see why, though. It's like, why just let us have it in all of its imperfection. You're actually going out of your way and spending extra money to correct something that you don't have to. So I can kind of see it both ways. There's something about the beauty of imperfection. But I personally don't really care. Now, I would care if it was something huge. So, I don't know. Maybe if it was like, if they didn't want to call him Ganondorf at first, in Ocarina of Time. But then when the 3D version came out, they changed it to just Ganon. I would care about that. I actually would care. But I don't care that they just corrected the spelling of something. What about you guys? Do you guys have any thoughts on that?
Maybe if the Pokemon Company put the whole Peekaboo thing to rest. I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but back in the movie Pokemon, maybe Mewtwo Strikes Back or Pokemon 2000, before Meryl was known as Meryl, they had the name Peekaboo.
Peekaboo.
And it was actually printed on official merchandise. I have a trading card in my closet. But
okay.
If they went back and they changed that to Meryl, it would kind of lose some of the urban legend, spark that it had,
Okay.
Because a lot of people thought that Peekaboo was actually supposed to be like a bluish Pikachu.
Okay. So in this scenario that EPS brought up, you don't like that they corrected the name Fairy.
Right.
Okay. Mark?
I really don't have an opinion on
okay. Devin?
I kind of just agree with what you were saying. I mean, but in a way, it's not really a spelling mistake. That's just another spelling for the word fairy, and like Old English, I think it is.
Well, but Nintendo took the time and effort to spell it a different way in the remake that we traditionally know. So in their minds, there was something enough to pay somebody to fix it.
Yeah, I don't know. I agree with what you're saying. I mean, it's not really a big deal, but pretty much the same thing. If they tried to change something like Ganondorf to something completely different, yeah, that would be weird.
Yeah, I will nerd out and get mad about things that some people might say, Ken, you shouldn't. Why do you even care? Like the Zelda timeline, I was actually a little upset when they kind of changed it on a whim. We have roughly 15 minutes, and I wanted to ask something to Mark here. Mark, the Nintendo Switch, one of the things that propped up the Nintendo Switch in year one was the indie games. It wasn't really third-party games. I think third-party games became more and more important in year two and in the following years. Why, though, didn't you really get on board with the indie games? Because there's like a ton, especially in year one, a ton of great indie games. Why not?
Time,
man.
I just don't have. I like me specifically. I'm pretty much in my gamer mind. I'm probably stuck in my old ways. Probably more so than others. I know when I'm buying a Nintendo console, I know I'm buying it for Mario, Zelda, Smash Brothers, Mario Kart, Star Fox, Metroid, etc. Like those core, franchises that I know that are going to give us those AAA titles that I've come to love for the past 25 years. So just me trying to take the time to research those indie games and see if I would really get into them or not. I've just never taken the time to really try to get into them because time, father, 2 jobs,
Okay. YouTube channel, husband. So okay, I can. You know what? I can relate to that. I do not have 2 jobs per se, but I have everything else you just said, and much respect. Because it's hard to be a video game dad. I mean, first world problems, yeah, but you know what? We like to play video games. Move over, kids. We like to play video games.
Yeah, I don't know how you guys do it. You, Mark, and Devin. I mean, I've got a job and I've go to school and I can barely find time to play games. But you guys are fathers and husbands. That's like an added. Those are added responsibilities, and I'm just like, wow. How do you guys sleep?
Yeah. If I can get at least 4 to 5 hours a day, I'm good. But definitely when like a new Mario is out or a new Zelda is out, I'm definitely hiked up on coffee or a Red Bull for like 3 or 4 straight.
Yeah, you have to be strategic about it. And the Switch helps. The fact that it's portable. You can take it anywhere you want, or you can just play while your kids watch TV or whatever. Or you can play and still watch TV at the same time, double dip. And you just figure it out. Plus, when you're at the age of my kids it's like kind of perfect that they're starting to really enjoy it. Like the reason why I'm actually in this room right now is because I told you I was trying to get footage of Zelda 1. Well, my kids wanted to watch it, so I brought everything out into the living room so I could play and record it. I didn't want to drag everything back into my other room because every time you move a PC, you risk damaging it and stuff. So anyways, you just got to be strategic about it and whatnot. Devin is actually not married, but he does have a fiance. But you do got to be careful. I don't want video games to babysit my kids also. So you got to be very careful. And that's, I guess, but it's cool though. One of the best experiences I had was watching my son beat Super Mario Brothers. I'm like, I was just talking about how hard these old games are, and he beat it. I'm like, what the heck? I told him, I was 27 until I beat that game, and I started playing it at like 8. So it's cool. It really is cool, and like Nick knows, like he named his kid Link. You get to do all these like cool things with your kid. So we got about 11 more minutes, and Devin, how do you find time?
Well, it's my wind down time when I get home from the nursing home that I work at. I take a shower, clean up, and lay down and just play with my Switch. Or now I'm going to be what's it called? Playing Devil May Cry as soon as that when I get home tonight.
I'm so wanting to get into that. That looks amazing.
I know, man. Thanks to Devin, mine's in the mail, so it's coming in the mail.
So
hopefully,
Devil May Cry is
sooner than. I'm sorry.
No, go on.
I said hopefully sooner than the 18th, but I'm in no rush.
Devil May Cry is on Xbox and PlayStation. I heard we might get 1 through 4 on the Switch, though. Is that any validity to that rumor, or?
Yeah, the producer said if he said either Dragon's Dogma or Dragon's Crown. I'm not sure if he said that if they do well on the Switch, that they'll port over Devil May Cry 5.
Oh wow, that's that's so funny that they did that. It's kind of cheap. Like, you guys have to buy this game and then we'll do it. But you know, why not? Also at the same time, you know what? That might make me buy the Dragon Dogma. I'm on the fence about it. It's only $30 though, so that's really cheap. I know it's a game that came out like in 2000 whatever, but it's really cheap.
Mm-hmm.
EPS says video games babysat him. He played Miss Pac-Man on Atari in my early years. You know what? I'm not gonna lie. You know, I probably watched a little too much TV growing up. I just want to find a balance. I want my kids to be able to live in the real world and in the video game world, because my kids are gonna be nerds no matter what. So I gotta find them. I gotta be careful in the balance, because personally myself, I am a person that doesn't need to go outside ever. I could just be on a video game all day long. I don't have to see a person. This YouTube channel is all the interaction with people I need. I'm not even joking. It drives my wife nuts.
Yeah, I'm the kind of the same way. It's kind of funny because I work as a CNA, but yet I hate humans in general.
It's definitely possible. I mean, when I was a kid, I mean, I played football, basketball, baseball. I did all the extracurricular. So, and then, I mean, when I would come home, I'd get my homework done, and then I'd pretty much play, 64 or Ocarina of Time or Smash or whatever I was playing, for the rest of the night. So, it's definitely possible.
Hey, Doobie, what time is it exactly right now?
12:52.
Okay. So, all right. Because I don't have, because of my setup, I can't see a time or anything.
11:52 for us, Ken.
Yeah, so we got 8 minutes of the show left, right?
Yes.
Okay. Man, this time flies. Seriously, you guys could have told me, no, we have an hour left. I'm like, oh, okay. This time just flies here. I love Saturdays with you guys. But Nick has to go in a couple minutes. Don't worry, we're about to end it anyways. 10:52 for Nick. So what is if you guys had to give Mark an indie game to get, like, he's like, I will play 2 indie games in my entire life. David and Devin, the 2 you suggest. What are they? I wouldn't suggest Salt and Sanctuary because he said his time is an issue. You got to give him an indie game that he's going to absolutely love. What is it going to be?
For me, I would say probably Dead Cells, because it's so easy to just pick up. You can play through it. You die. You go, oh well, and then you put it down. There's no real devotion into it besides okay, I want to get a little bit farther, so you play a little bit farther to get those points to divert it back into your character. I think it's a really fun game. It's got Dark Souls level difficulty, though. It is a hard game, though.
Is that a platformer, or is that
it's a side-scrolling platformer. Yeah, I would say it's a side-scrolling platformer.
Cool. Yeah, I'll give it a try.
Okay,
but
sorry, we got more to say.
No, but I was just saying it's really easy to just pick up and to put down because it's just set up that way.
I'd probably say Hollow Knight.
Hollow Knight. Ooh, okay.
Oh yeah, Hollow Knight is good.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for side-scrolling platformers, and it's like a Metroidvania kind of game.
Oh yeah, you would definitely like that if you like Metroid. So yeah, that's probably worth your while.
Anything like the Super Metroid or Metroid Fusion or anything like that, yeah, I'm definitely.
Oh man, I would love to play Metroid Fusion again, even if it's just on the Game Boy Advanced. but I remember playing that game on the bus on the way to school a lot of times.
So fun.
So much.
Bloodstained is about to come out, which is Castlevania. And I know Castlevania and Metroid get the Metroidvania. So if you're a Castlevania fan, Bloodstained is about to come out. And Limited Run Games actually is going to do their release next week. And that's going to be a very, like, if you guys want collectibles, Limited Run Games next Friday. That's going to be a huge one.
Wait, for Limited Run Games, what? Who?
Bloodstained, I think it's called Bloodstained. It's that it's the Castlevania indie game coming out. That's
By the original creator too.
yeah. So next Friday, 10 a.m. or no, 10 or 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I don't know. You got to figure it out.
Oh, no, okay, you just got me real wigged out there. Like, I thought that was supposed to be a normal release, not like limited run or super rare.
No, limited run, collector's edition and all. So you'll have to figure that out. And then what else are we gonna say? We got about 5 more. Man, I am just blanking on things today. Just blanking. It's those Snorlaxes in the back. They're just like they're eyeballing me. I'm like, guys, shut up.
Yeah.
Can anyone else hear the Snorlaxes? I'm like Detective Pikachu right here.
The game is Koji Igarashi, and he directed. Let's see. He started off with Castlevania Rondo of Blood back in the Super Nintendo.
Yeah. Oh, I know what I was going to say. Anyone play Tetris 99? There's a thing going on right now. It's the top 999 players will get 9,999 or 999 gold coins. Anybody playing Tetris 99?
I've been playing it, but I'm not that good. I can barely get myself to level 22 without dying.
Really? Okay. Mark?
Mm-mm.
Why not?
Nope.
You don't like Tetris?
I do. It's just I'm playing Starlink right now, and then I'm playing to muscle through Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and then, like I said, I really want to get into the Devil May Cry too. So you know.
Yeah, but Tetris 99 is like a 5-minute game.
You know, maybe I could try to play between jobs or something. Is it? I mean, if it's on Switch, I mean, I can download it and give it a try. I mean, I can try.
Well, you have Nintendo Switch Online?
Yeah.
It's just free for people who have Switch Online. David, you give it a try?
I haven't yet.
Why not?
I don't know, man. There's too much on the list, man. The backlog is
a 5-minute game.
All right, I'll download it tonight.
All right, do that,
and then I'll play.
All right, do that. It's very addicting though. I say it's a 5-minute game, but then it's like it's also a one more game 10 games ago type of game also. So
yeah, it definitely is.
It's definitely worth playing. It's fun. It's a crazy take on Tetris, and I will say I'm really good at Tetris. But I've yet to get first place. I can get second place, no problem. First place, though, I can't close the deal. And if anyone's interested, tomorrow night we're going to do a Sunday night smash. Usually it's Friday night smash. But I have a guy from Australia. His name is Jay Andrews. He could never do Friday nights. And he was like, would you be willing to do another night? And I was like, how about I do Sunday night for you? I'm still doing Friday night smashes. It's just we're going to have a special Sunday night smash for our Australian friend. So if anyone interested in the chat, I don't know exactly what time it'll be on Sunday. Sunday's a little more casual with my streams. It'll be most likely anywhere from 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And so if anyone's interested in that, all you got to do is be a friend of me on Switch. Just get my Switch code and friend me. I will accept you or whatever. Devin, what about you? Can you make it? You haven't been on the Friday Night Smash yet.
I really wish I could, but every time you do it, I'm at work.
Gotta work. Mark?
Yep, that's what hits me too. Like I work usually every other Friday night. So. Well,
what about this Sunday? Can you make it this Sunday?
Sunday. Maybe. I was gonna say it just depends on what the family has got going on. But if it's Sunday night, then yeah, most likely.
Yeah, Sunday night. But enter quick because it fills up. Who's your main? Who would you bring if you did show up on Sunday?
Link for sure.
Link. Okay, EPS 5000's a Link fan too, so don't use the green tunic, otherwise you'll get confused. David, who's your main?
Ken, you're lucky that I was in a lot of pain and in a lot of pain meds on Thursday because I wanted to bring the pain. You said that if I win 5 in a row, I get the belt, right?
Yep. 5 in a row, you get a belt.
That's gonna happen. And you know what? I have a feeling that if I get a 4th win, all your everyone in the chat's gonna gang up on me. I know it.
I'm not gonna lie. I would stick them on you.
I want that so bad.
I don't want to lose that belt, so I will sick them on you. I've made contests where I'm like, oh crap, why did I say that? But I will follow through with whatever I say. But I will go right to the line of cheating to win. All right. So who are you gonna bring though?
It just depends, man. I don't know. King DDD, King K. Rool, Jigglypuff.
Well, we
Mario.
do have a DDD, so you might want to do King K. Rule. But guys, it's actually, I just looked at the time. It's time to go. Mark, can you give me an advertisement for your channel real quick? Just so Mark here is Mark Jack 79 from YouTube. He lives right outside of Orlando, so he will be doing footage of the new Star Wars theme park, which is gonna just wow, it's gonna be crazy. But give me more about your channel before you go. We do appreciate you joining, but talk to us real quick. Tell people why they should be one of your next 140 subscribers to get monetized.
Yes, like Ken is saying, I'm at youtube.com/martinjack79. On my channel, we talk about gaming, anime, movies. I'm actually going to see Captain Marvel tonight, so you can expect a review on that tonight. After
oh, good. I really want to. I actually wanted to talk about that, so I'll be happy to hear your review. Keep going.
Yep. And then of course, like another big part of my channel is travel, where like I take my family to Disney World, at Universal Studios. You know, we've been to the Nintendo store in New York. The videos on the channel. That was such a fun time. But pretty much my channel is just a combination of everything geek related that I am particularly interested in. So it doesn't focus on one specific thing. It's just everything that I'm generally interested in, and seems to be a whole lot of people that share a similar interests as me. So if you subscribe or want to help and support the channel, thank you very much.
Cool. So if and I would just ask everybody, I'm not telling you to subscribe to his channel, but if you could do me a favor, I would love if you could just go and check it out. He gave us 2 hours of his time today, so just go and check it out. And if you like what you see, then subscribe. But I'm not asking you to subscribe. I'm asking you to give it a chance, though. David, anything to close out with?
Just look forward to Nintendo Labo VR.
Yeah, tell me about it. Devin?
The only thing is that you made me freak out for no reason. It was the Bloodstained Curse of the Moon is coming out on the limited run, not Bloodstained Ritual of the Night.
Oh, okay. So what is Ritual of the Night then?
Ritual of the Night is the big game that they were pushing ever since the Kickstarter. Curse of the Moon was the stretch goal that they got. It was like a 8-bit, like back in like an old NES style Castlevania game that they released a little while ago.
Oh,
still
okay.
Cool, but I just thought that Ritual of the Night wasn't coming out, and I was gonna have to fight to get it.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you for looking that up. I apologize. Yeah, I get things wrong all the time, guys. But thankfully, I have people like David, Devin, Mark, EPS 5000, Riley, Paradox, Nick, Link, all you guys, Christian. So many that I feel bad when I do name off people because I know I leave so many people off. You guys rock. I love you guys. But that's it. Apologize for going over today. I didn't have a clock directly in front of me. I know we're like 4 minutes over, so we shall end it. Sunday night will be a special Smash stream. Then I'll return for Mail Call Mondays and normal videos throughout the week at 7:30 a.m. And then Friday Night Smash will return. And then, of course, every Sunday, or every Saturday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we are here. Margot, I hope you feel well and better. And guys, have a great day. It's dangerous to go alone. Please share this video, this channel with a friend. And don't forget, Mark Jack 79. Go check out his channel. Guys, have a great day.